welcome to a special DLC of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ellie, Chris and Guy. Today we are chatting about It Takes Two, the co-op game that I have just recently finished playing. And Guy, you've played this too, so feel free to, input in this if you want. I just wanted to start off by firstly saying I really did love this game. Despite me taking nearly a year to play it, it was not to do with the fact I didn't like the game. It genuinely wasn't. It was more just forgetting that we were playing it, time. We're both ADHD and we just forget things. And
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I did actually really enjoy it.
It didn't hook you?
It did hook me. I think there was a bit of in between when the controller was broken and I didn't realise that was kind of screwing things up. There was a bit of moments where I did get motion sickness, but I won't say that it's a real motion sicknessy game. I think a lot of that was to do with the broken controller initially and also me not being great at controlling the controller, if you know what I mean. Like once I got better, we basically got better and faster as we got through each chapter.
And then it became more enjoyable.
Exactly,
right.
yeah. But it is it is a user-friendly game, right? Like anyone can really play it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think one of the reasons why it might have been longer for you guys to complete is that it's not very often that you come across a game where in order for you to complete the storyline, you need two people. Like Chris is playing Cyberpunk at the moment. Like he doesn't need a second to be there. So that's why he can just get through it. Whereas you do have, even though you usually play it with your partner and you live together, you do need to make sure that not only schedules line up, but like you both have to be in the mood to play the game.
Totally, yeah. And so it is only 10 to 12 hours. It's not too long. They say that each chapter, there's 9 chapters, takes approximately an hour to play. So yeah, it wasn't too short or too long. I think it was actually the perfect length. And I think it's very inclusive for those, like for anyone, casual, expert gamers. So essentially, what we're going to ask.
I was just going to say, anyone that has never played a video game where you have to control the character with the left stick and move the camera with the right stick, that's the only barrier for entry.
Yeah. Yes.
And but that's most video games. So you have to learn that anyway.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing I found out with my wife, who we got to the vacuum cleaner and she tapped out, which is like the start of the game.
Boss,
Nice.
That was one of the reasons why we stopped.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I did get better at that. I was also, and I think that was why I was getting motion sick initially, because it was actually to do with me not being able to operate it properly, not the actual game.
Yeah. And we've taken for granted that we've been playing games like that since we were in our early teens, so we're used to it.
Yeah. Meg struggled with the dual, the different axis thing. And I'd plow through a segment and then she kept on dying. And then she felt like as if I was getting annoyed or bored with her because I'm watching her and she's like, I'm sorry. And she get real stressed out. I'm like, babe, just take your time. Okay. I really don't care. Like, just jump. Yeah. But like she got like all pent up. She's like, you think I suck? I was like, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
No, just hurry up and finish.
But also, you do suck. You know what I mean?
That's the point.
That you suck.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not mad.
We're not doing this for money. No one's watching.
Exactly. No, yeah. So essentially, for those that don't actually, if you're listening to this and you actually don't really know what it is, it's a co-op game, and you basically play as they're a married couple called Cody and May, and essentially they are turned into dolls by a spell. That's all I kind of say. They're miniature and they're trapped in their own house, which becomes like a fantasy world. And the creativity in this was just amazing. Like the things they made out of things. So for example, they're in like a child's bedroom and there's a fidget spinner there, very when was that? 2015? I don't know. Yeah. Fidget spinner's there, and instead of it being a fidget spinner, it becomes like a spaceship that they use to fly around on. So it's it does all these really quirky, cool little things with the environment. And I would say that the artwork and creativity for me was like 5 out of 5. Like it blew me away. And the way they use normal things to make it adventurous was so clever, and it made me feel cozy because I really like miniature things. I like seeing the perspective of I guess a mouse in a house. Now, what I would say for the story is I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Like, it was really wholesome. It had good lessons, like good real-world lessons. It essentially kind of covers things like marriage, relationships, and also just like hobbies and how important they actually are to people.
Because the two main characters are very unlikable at the start.
Yeah.
You don't like them. You're not rooting for them.
I didn't like them,
Yeah, but then they,
And also, I must say about the story too, by the sounds of the things you've been banging on about certain events that happen, it's not just a happy, lovey-dovey story of two people improving their relationship. It's much more than that.
It's like straight up murder.
Yeah, it is. But story I gave a 4 out of 5. Relationships and the importance of having a hobby and passion. The user experience was 4 out of 5. Like, it was pretty good. There was a bit of motion sickness, as I mentioned, but not really, and most of that was my fault. And I think it is good for a newbie. We got through the final levels quicker once we got the hang of it.
Yeah.
Gameplay for me was 4.5 out of 5. There was lots of variety, different scenes, different games, and the cool thing about this one is you could play it twice because you're both playing different characters that do completely different roles in the game. So you need each other, and if you played that game a second time, it would be a completely different experience.
That's what
right?
me and Meg did that because I played as the guy, she played as the girl, and then we started playing it again earlier this year. We still yet to finish it, but we did it from the other perspective, and it is like playing the game all over again, but differently. Like you're better at it because you know what the storyline is, but it's from a different perspective, so it feels fresh.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And also you can, I believe, if I own the game, which I do, but I want to play with Chris who doesn't have it, even though you do, but let's just say you don't.
Yeah.
Then if you play online like PlayStation Network, then he can play with me online
with his game,
with my game, without having to Chris, for him to buy the game.
Yeah,
so if
that's
you've
so
got
good.
it and you desperately want to play this game with somebody else, as long as your friends online, you can play it together.
That's awesome. I love how inclusive it is, and I do think I reckon it's the best introduction to, like, first of all, co-op gaming, and also just a good introduction to gaming because it's friendly for like everyone. Even the story's friendly, the graphics are friendly and cute. Like I really did love this game. I think it's amazing. Extras 4.5 out of 5. This is just like it was emotional. It was a wholesome story. It was funny. There was a bit of humor in it too, like in the script. It was pretty funny. And I loved the anthropomorphic elements to it where everything came to life. Things in your house that you think would be inconspicuous ended up being a thing that you had to fly or use or ride along.
That's
or
cool.
like the snow globe for me. You go inside you go inside a snow globe and it just becomes this big winter wonderland and you're just inside a little tiny snow globe.
It changes the perspective of how you look at the stuff in your own home as well. Like there's a hammer in the game and it's like a real life hammer. So I hold a hammer, I start thinking about it, and my daughter has a toy elephant and I'm like put it away to the side, like I'm sorry for what I had to do to your kin.
No, it kind of gives almost Toy Story vibes.
Yeah,
that
totally.
perspective of being a little toy. So generally I loved it, and I don't know why it took me so long to finish it. Like I genuinely really did love it, and everyone should play it, I think.
What about difficulty level?
That's a good one. I didn't do that. I would say difficulty out of 5 would be, I reckon it was like
5 being difficult as
like Elden Ring.
Yeah, I reckon it's like a 2.
Yeah.
I'd say
definitely a 2. It's not the easiest thing. There's definitely
challenges.
It's got that sort of platformer sort of style to it where you just like there's no difficulty setting, I don't think, but there are just bits where you're like, oh, this is ramped up.
Yes,
you know, and you definitely do get stuck on bits.
Yes, we definitely did. And then there's also lots of mini games in it. So like, there's so many little mini games. Like, example is like one of those little kids racetracks, and you can like race each other on the racetrack.
There's like a whack-a-mole one. Yeah.
That's cool.
Heaps of mini games. So I feel like it can be played twice. It can also, even the mini games, we didn't get through all of them. Like, there's actually a lot we didn't tick off, so we could go back again and play those, and it would be like a new experience. So yeah, overall, I loved It Takes Two. I think I've played A Way Out as well, which is by the same people, and it's also another co-op game. I loved A Way Out. Very different story. More mature themes is what I'd say with that one.
That's the Prison Break one.
Yeah.
I've played that too,
Yeah, it's fun. But I reckon It Takes Two is the perfect co-op game. It's a great introduction for any gamer, and it's just a really fun thing to do with someone you love, whether it's a partner, a friend, a sibling, a parent. Like, I think,
one of my favorite gaming experiences is getting to play that game with my wife. Because you don't really get to do that anymore. Couch co-op is kind of a dying art.
It is,
So it is definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, I'm actually sad because I don't know if I'm going to now find another co-op game that exists right now anyway that's going to match that experience I had.
Unraveled apparently is a similar style. Unraveled 2 or something like that.
Sam and I started playing that actually a while ago. We didn't get far through it, but it's quite puzzly. It's quite puzzly. Well, it's kind of a bit of a mind F. Like, I didn't fully get grabbed by it initially, but I tried again.
The good thing about that studio is it sounds like they're just going to dedicate themselves to making these awesome co-op games.
I hope so.
And A Way Out didn't come out that long ago, so it'll probably only be like another year or two until
I looked it up recently. Hazelight Studios, I don't think they're currently working on anything, but I know that they've got IP, like they've got ideas.
It'll be under wraps, they haven't announced anything, but they'll be working on something.
I really hope they do. It was so fun. So highly recommend from me. Yeah, despite me taking ages, that was nothing to do with the fact that the game was amazing, is what I would say. So that's
what was it out of 5?
4.9.
4.9 out of 5.
Yeah, I reckon it was a bloody great game. And highly recommend it to anyone. So thank you for listening to this DLC.
Yeah, we'll do more of these.
Yeah, we will.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah, and have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are.
Give us 5 stars, please.
Yeah, please. Bye.
Woo!